Susie?
Great, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you the most insane story.
Okay.
Well, I think it's insane.
Episode 271, beginning with an insane story.
Yes. Here we go. So, I'm at this, what do you call it? Stroke boot camp. It's this, boot camp or
They should call
program.
it a clinic or something.
Right. It's like a clinic for individuals and their caregivers who have survived strokes. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I was sent to go pick up the Starbucks and do a Starbucks run. So I go to Starbucks. I pick up the Starbucks. I put my phone down on the counter. I turn around to go grab milk or whatever, cream, put in the coffee. Turn back around, and I just am not thinking. I don't see a phone there. I don't grab it. So I go back to the car, and then I get in the car, and it says Bluetooth not connected.
Sure.
I was like, that must mean my phone's on the car. I'll go back to Starbucks. Go back to Starbucks. I'm like, I know I left it on the counter. It's going to be sitting right there. Wasn't there. So I'm like, God damn it, my phone's lost. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. Okay, somebody. I was like very accepting of the fact that like,
do you
my
have
phone's
like a
lost.
passcode on it?
Yes, passcode's on it. Fingerprint, the whole thing.
Fingerprint.
Or, you know, that, whatever. Touch thing. And so then I go back to the clinic, and I'm like, guys, I'm sorry that took me long. I had to turn around because I realized that I don't use this word very often but somebody really did steal my phone.
Okay.
And so one of the girls there was like, here, take my phone. Log on to find my phone.
Yeah.
You know, let's find this thing. Mm-hmm. So logged on, you know, put a little thing up of like lost phone, put my phone in lost mode. Then I see that the dot is still at Starbucks. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I got to go back there and look. So I go back there and I look, and there were a bunch of really nice people who were like helping me like find it.
Yeah, because everyone knows how terrible it is.
I'm like pressing play the sound, and like anybody who looked at their phone, I was like, do you have my phone? I was like, who has my phone?
Okay.
But I didn't hear any sound. So then I take a look at the dot again, and I'm like, wait a sec. It's not at Starbucks. It's like 4 blocks away.
No.
Oh, you know I went on a
No way.
Yes. So I get in my car, and let me tell you, nothing made me feel more like a detective or like I might as well be hunting a serial killer, because that's what it feels like right now. And there's like theme music in the background.
Right.
There's like definitely stuff going on in my head where I'm like super tough and like this is the moment where I catch the criminal. Catching phone thieves.
Okay.
So I go on this hunt. I find it's like 4 blocks away. So it's in this weird industrial complex where it's just like a bunch of like offices for some, you know, random companies, but all like like a business complex. But it's not at the businesses. It's in the parking lot. So
no.
I'm like, okay.
Oh my
I
God.
have my phone
Weren't you
out.
afraid for your life?
Not for a second, which is the weird part. Like, what's wrong with me where I freeze when I get attacked in Italy when somebody tries to like sexually assault me? But if I'm like hunting a thief, I'm like, no problem. Right. I'm definitely going to throw down with this person.
Okay.
And for some reason, I think it's a she. I'm getting like weird vibes that it's a female. I don't know why.
At the time.
And still, I feel like it was a female who stole my phone. I don't know why.
But you don't know who it was?
No idea.
Okay.
So I'm
crazy.
hunting this down in a parking lot. And it's like, and finally I'm like, oh, play sound. And I realized that I was playing the sound on my laptop, not my phone.
That's the worst.
So I finally realized which button I need to push. And I'm playing the sound, and I hear it. I'm like, oh, I hear it. Where is it? And I'm following it. And I see there's like one car by itself in the parking lot. And so I'm thinking that it's like inside this car.
Sure, yeah.
I go up to the car, press play sound, and it's coming from the fucking bushes.
Oh my God.
This person who stole my phone realized, and I assume that it's whoever's the car that is, because it's in the perfect spot to where if you opened the front door and you realized that somebody put the phone in lost mode and they were hunting for it, this is the perfect place to chuck it. It wasn't just thrown into the bushes. It was like hidden under
is so
ivy.
Weird. I
the
can't.
weirdest. If somebody told me this story, I'd be like, I don't believe it. Like, it almost sounds like I'm making up some real big elaborate story for why I was like 10 minutes late to back to the coffee. But I'm like, this really. And I went back, opened my cover of my phone, dirt spills out because it was like buried in ivy, and I find it. I'm just so excited that I found my phone, take it back to, you know, and tell them the whole story. They're like, they did the same thing you did. You went after that? I can't believe it. You know, but it was just, I found it in this bank of ivy on the side of a parking lot. Thank God for that Find My Phone thing, because I found it and it was great and it was a real fun adventure.
But Okay.
It took me 20 minutes.
The thief that took it.
Yes.
Like, did they think they were going to get away with this for a second?
I think for a sec they did. I thought maybe they were thinking that they could sell the phone or something like that. But as soon as I turned on, and then I wrote, you know how you can write in Lost Mode? You can write something. So it said,
what did you write? I'm dying.
It's great. I had to do something. Like, first I said, like, lost phone. I put my friend's phone number because it was her phone that, like, if found, please call this. Standard.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I got to do something more that's like, mean something.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote, finding a phone and returning it equals good karma. Finding a phone and keeping it equals bad karma. And that's all I wrote.
You are so silly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just wanted them to know that I was a believer in that, and I'm going to be putting a serious bad energy towards them and their phone thief ways if they were to just keep it. So they got the message and chucked it into the ivy.
The only time I've had to use that feature was that time at Phil Rosenthal's house where I go for movie night. And someone had taken my phone and accidentally put it in a different purse.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then Adam did the whole routine you're saying, like where you put the message on and you turn on the Find My Phone and it's like supposed to be putting out an alert and all this stuff. And then it ended up being at like a celebrity's house. But I had to find their house like old time pioneer ways. Like I had to write down directions.
Right, because you don't have a phone.
Yeah, and when I was leaving, someone was like, doesn't your car have GPS? At the time, my car did not have one of those thingies. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm a regular person. Like, it's amazing to me that I have an iPhone, okay? Right. So, but I had to like go find this phone. And it feels like the weirdest thing when you do not have it with you.
I was like, oh, great, no phone, I'm free. But my friend's like, you need to go find it. Here's my phone. And
oh, my God.
I did.
There was a part of you that was like, easy come, easy go.
Well, I have this whole motto that, like, if I ever lose something or if something's misplaced, when I search for it, and I get a lot of anxiety about searching for it, I never find it. But if I just relax and accept that this thing is lost, it always shows up. All the time. Every single time I go, you know what?
Science.
It's lost. It is what it is. I'm probably not going to find it. You know what? I didn't really need it anyway. And then it's like right there.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, thanks. So I figured that would be my attitude. I'm like, you know what? I got a backup phone at home from, when I upgraded. I don't really need the big one. It's fine.
Maybe if you had a Holly and Tanager backpack purse, then you wouldn't have this problem.
Right, because then I'd be able to put the backpack on. I would have had free hands to carry the coffee.
It's a professional backpack tote. It's designed for women like Sarah who are on the go, in the know,
that's
jet
me.
setting, trend setting, ordinary, extraordinary women.
Oh, I like that. I am that.
This tote converts from a backpack to a tote to a crossbody, and it's just great for women who are professional or who have to go from like a work setting to, an evening setting or wherever you're going. It's like something that'll hold all your stuff but still look chic. You can fit a 17-inch laptop in it, notebooks, tennis shoes that fit in the bottom compartment, wine bottle if you're that kind of person. Yep. And then you can put like your yoga mat through the bottom compartment too. It's just really, really cute. And it's made with Italian leather. It's super high quality. And basically, in addition to the professional backpack tote, Holly and Tanager offers other extraordinary everyday handbags you don't see every day. As a listener of Brain Candy Podcast, you can get 15% off your first order. Just visit hollyandtanager.com/braincandy and use our promo code BrainCandy at checkout to get that discount on really cute, functional, high-quality bags. And then Sarah won't lose her phone.
Right.
My friend Eric Schwartzel, who I love, he writes for the Wall Street Journal, and he wrote an article recently, and I told him, I'm like, this is brain candy material.
Ooh, I love it.
It's about, and it shouldn't surprise me, but I had never thought about it, the trend or the thing that happens at Disney parks where people spread ashes.
Well, this is happening?
Yeah, because like a lot of people, it's like their favorite spot in all the world.
I had no idea.
Me neither. But like now that I know it, I'm like, it makes sense because there's like enthusiasts.
Yep. And people do every other ritual, like ceremony, tradition, like getting engaged,
Weddings.
getting married, all that stuff.
Family reunions.
They even have the memorial plaques for anybody who has passed away in the front of the park. You can buy one of those little tiles.
Yep.
Okay, I see this.
Yes, so people smuggle in ashes because they're not allowed. You're not allowed to do this. This is like gross and a biohazard. Oh my God. But people want to do it, so they put ashes into like pill bottles and baggies and things like that, and take them into like It's a Small World or wherever. Haunted Mansion, super popular.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, this is great.
The worker at Disney said that like there's pretty much ashes all over the Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
Can you believe?
I kind of love this. I'm kind of like okay with it too.
I mean, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
I love it. And
you're going to love like how they deal with it. Because they have like a fucking team of people.
Okay, so this is like not just I love learning about stuff like this.
Okay, so
this is like the police and the bees. How you're like, there's no way that could be a significant, a serious enough problem to have an entire team dedicated to this. And sure enough, there is.
So, okay, first of all, I didn't know this about ashes, but like you need a really special vacuum cleaner to like clean them up because they're super fine.
Because it will clog the filter, right? Something like that?
Basically, that it's so... it's dust. And so it's just, you got to have your special biohazard vacuum on the go. And they have, you know how at Disney they have like code brown, whatever it is.
Whatever code,
vomit or
oh my God, I have a friend who works at Disneyland. I'm going to ask her everything about this.
So I forget, some employees got in trouble because they started calling it Code Grandma.
Oh.
But that's not its actual one. I forget the actual one. But they have a special code, and when that comes through, then the team comes and they shut down the ride or whatever area it is, and they just say there's like a technical issue.
That's probably why that... Oh, didn't you say that ride gets shut down? Like, we talked about that all the time, and it got shut down when you were on it?
Haunted Mansion.
It's probably
It was probably the old ash spreadery. Okay, wait. And so... okay, people smuggle them in. They sprinkle them. Most of the time, they're not going to get caught because, frankly, if it's just a pill bottle amount, you just,
no problem.
Yeah, but if they do get caught, they will be ejected from the park.
I think that's a funny way to go out,
though. You brought up the commemorative tiles or whatever. Mm-hmm. They banned the phrase "in memory of" on those bricks. Because they thought
it was too morbid?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Why?
Because I feel like I don't like how in Western culture I don't like the relationship that Western culture has with death.
Oh, okay. So it's that thing where in the book, Confessions of a Funeral Director, he says we should have a positive rather than death negative.
Correct.
Viewpoint.
I think we have a death negative viewpoint. I like a death positive one. That is a fact of life. I think the fear would be less if we...
I know, and in memory of is nice. It's not
wonderful.
Like too bad you died or something.
Right. And like what if I wanted to say like in memory of that amazing time I had at Disneyland when I got proposed to.
Right. And I wonder, because it didn't say, but I wonder if you could say in honor of. Is that fine?
See, those things are...
She's had it.
Annoying to me.
She's angry.
Like, is this Linda?
The one thing in the article that was especially funny to me is how sometimes they have false alarms where they think there's been ashes dumped, and then it'll just be like funnel cake powder. And like they get all their vacuum ready, and then they're just like, "Oh, it's fine. It's just powdered sugar." Have you ever like seen or touched ashes?
Oh,
I've never seen them in real life.
You know, yes, but only in the baggie because we cremated our dog.
Oh, I wonder if they look different than people ones.
My mom had had her dad's
that.
and her. And her dog's in like the same drawer, in her underwear drawer, which is kind of weird.
I have several questions.
Yeah.
First of all, oh my God, why did you guys? Is this customary to have your dog cremated?
I think so. I think it is something that people do.
I mean, it is less
I don't know. I mean, I'm not big on that.
I want them to do the thing where, like, I never have to talk. Like, you deal with it, bury it with it, throw it in the dump. I don't care. Like, no, I mean about the dogs.
Oh, the dogs.
Oh, do they give those to science too?
Probably not.
No. Like, I don't want to have to deal with ashes or burying the damn thing.
Me neither. It's just like, I'm hoarding my dead pets.
You should ask your mom about that. Then the second question would be why she felt like keeping the dog and the dad together.
Yeah.
And also,
and just maybe like most organizing, you're supposed to like collect all the things and put them in a similar bin of similar items. Like all the pens go over here, all the scissors go over here.
Kondo.
All of the ashes of past loved ones go over here.
The magic of tidying up dead bodies.
Yeah.
And then why they were in her intimates drawer.
I think that's just, no, I don't have an answer for that.
No.
There's zero.
And what was the container they were in?
I think it was just like a little, I feel like for a while the dog one was just in the standard box that they gave us from, it wasn't anything fancy.
Vet.
Yeah. It wasn't anything special. Like we probably don't have them now. She's probably gotten rid of those. I have no idea.
Where would she put them?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the real problem because then you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Unless you bury it or something.
She's like traveling all over. I don't know if she's like taking these guys with her.
These are questions you could cover maybe next time you speak. She's been very active on my Instagram lately.
Oh,
have
really?
You noticed?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah. Lots of stuff.
Funny.
Lots of thoughts on parenting and yeah, Sally speaks up. My mom's not on Instagram, so it's like she's my surrogate.
Yeah.
There you go. But I also...
Probably similar messages.
If you were... I know you're not going to be cremated, but like if you were, where would you want to be spread out?
Oh, well,
just so I know.
I'd go mountains and ocean. Give me 50-50.
Mountain? Any of them? Just any?
Like Yosemite, I would love to be... Yosemite or maybe where like the camp that I went to in Big Bear.
Yeah.
I would like to be there at their little...
That's nice.
Like even, I think a running body of water, though. A stream, waterfall. Don't take any selfies, but dump my ashes out. Well, my aunt was cremated, and we did let it out over the ocean in an airplane, and we were all on the beach and watched it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That way you don't get any in your hair or anything like that.
Yeah.
You stay far away.
Very far away.
That's a good ritual.
And it was nice. And like my aunt took a picture. My other aunt took a picture of the plane as they did it. And it was like nice and blah, blah, blah.
Another good ritual are the vitamins I take every night at bedtime.
Keep you alive for longer. Maybe you don't need to be cremated as soon.
Keep you alive longer. Because get this, 95% of women don't get the vitamins and minerals they need on a daily basis. What in the world are we doing? Well, at any rate, they will help you out because they have omega-3, vitamin D, all that good stuff. And then it's with mint essential oil, which makes them taste yummy, not gross like those fishy ones that I don't want to talk about. Yeah. And they're time released, so you don't get sick from them, which is, for me, the reason that I will take them. Because I am very sensitive to vitamins. And it's not worth it to me unless I'm not getting sick, you know?
You don't want to have that fishy taste in your mouth. Blech.
No, I don't want that, and I don't want to feel nauseous. And that's why I love them. It's a subscription-based service, so they just come right to your door when you need them. And if you need to snooze it or you need, to take a break from it or whatever, you can do that very easily. Happiness guaranteed. Cancel easily anytime. And here's how you get the deal. Go to ritual.com/braincandy. You're going to choose clean ingredients backed by science if you sign up now at ritual.com/braincandy, because you need your vitamins, but you don't want to be dealing with those gross ones.
Right. So remember on a previous episode when I talked about the, I think it was last episode when I talked about the 40 slang terms that people shouldn't say?
Yes.
We have to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
Okay.
40 slang terms.
Yeah. Should take notes.
Yeah.
We won't go through all 40, but some of them we do need to highlight. Have you heard the term high key? It's like the opposite of low key.
Oh, no.
Me neither.
No.
Yeah.
High key?
Yeah.
Like, what would that be?
It says that it's like when something was low key, but now too many people know about it, and it's not a secret anymore, then it's high key.
Okay.
Yeah. Turnt, T-U-R-N-T.
Yeah.
Would you ever use that?
Never.
Me neither.
Why would anyone use it?
No way in all holy heck.
So these are 40 terms people over 40 should not use.
Definitely not say.
Okay.
Yeah. And the question is if people over 40 even know what the heck they are.
Right.
And if you do know these, I'm like questioning who you're hanging out with on the weekend.
True.
Mm-hmm. How about shade?
Yeah, I do know that. I don't use it, but I probably have.
I think I have too, but that one's on there.
I am not over 40 though, so it's okay.
Right, there you go. Me neither.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
Okay. I use that.
Yeah. I do too. Some of these were so funny. This is a great one. JOMO. Do you know about that?
I don't know that one.
It's an acronym for the joy of missing out. You know how they have FOMO, fear of missing out? This is like the opposite. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The people who want that the most are people over 40 or getting close to that.
That should only be used by over 40.
Right, that's what I said. And then, but the article said, but when you're over 40, nobody is buying the JOMO excuse anymore. Say what you really mean. You're not staying home because of JOMO. You're doing it because you couldn't find a babysitter. Which I thought was really funny. Bae.
Okay.
That's something we shouldn't say anymore.
You seem like someone who would use that a lot. Bae.
I don't.
Oh, really? You for sure have.
I definitely have.
Or like boo.
I use boo. He's my boo. She's my boo. Hey, boo thing. I always say that.
Boo thing.
Yeah. With an A. Let's
we
be
should
real.
add that to you.
JK. I will not say that now.
What about in texts? Is that allowed?
I think you're allowed. You just can't say it in real life.
No, I don't say it in real life.
Woke. I say that. How about this one? I can't even. Do you say that?
I have.
I have too. Okay, this is one I was like, are you kidding me? I had to screenshot it. I was so like, P. Just the letter P.
What's that?
It says it's short for pretty, as in I'm P excited to go out tonight.
Yeah.
What?
I've seen that in text.
I'm annoyed.
Twitter.
Are we just going to reduce everything to a single letter? That's not. No. It's hard to think that for me to not think they're talking about.
I
the
think
bathroom.
a lot of those came to be more popular whenever Twitter had such a limited.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Character limit.
Yeah, this is one where I have no idea what this is. Boots. Adding the word boots at the end of things.
What's that mean?
I'm so tired. Boots. It's like an emphasis to a verb or an adjective. That I guess was,
say it like a...
I'm so tired, boots. I'm not kidding. That's how it says.
I keep feeling like I'm hearing you wrong.
And it says, get it? No, of course you don't. And that's okay. You don't need to watch a bunch of Todrick Hall videos to match this word usage. So I think Todrick Hall is either a rapper or a musician or performer or something like that. And maybe he said it a lot.
Like,
I don't know what that means.
It's like to say really, but at the end.
I'm tired of boots.
I'm hungry boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm kind of liking it. It's so weird.
Right.
I am thirsty boots.
When we're 40, we'll start using
Is it
boots.
kind of like to boot? You know, like...
Oh, okay.
Maybe? No. I'm just trying to...
You're trying to make sense out of madness.
Right. Praggers.
Uh-huh. I agree. I hate Praggers.
Yeah, but we've definitely said it.
Yeah, because it's hilarious. But I do hate it.
Sus? Like something suspect?
Oh my God. Who's saying
That's
that?
what I'm saying.
Maybe it's because we're white.
Whoever is real extra. Which is also on this list.
No, I'm not into that. Mm-hmm. I'm not into... Oh, there was one that you always say that I hate.
Oh, gosh. What is it? I can't wait. Yeah, say it. What is it? What do I say?
If it comes to me, I'll tell you.
It might come up on this list.
Nope. I don't like it. I also don't like... This
perf?
Is not...
Do I say perf? Presh?
Fine with those.
Regs?
Oh, you do say that, but it doesn't bother me.
Okay, good. I like all those.
I don't like when I send a text. You don't do this, but when people like heart it or like thumbs up it.
Oh, now that's my new favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I hate it. Don't do it to mine.
It's just a way for me to acknowledge that I did see this, but I don't have anything clever or witty to reply.
I know what it is.
Right, but why don't you like it?
Because this is not fucking Instagram.
Yeah, but don't you want some validation for your hilarious thing that you just said? But
yeah.
Do you want me to just say haha?
Sure do. Because it's a conversation we're having.
Okay. I see. But then, okay.
I would never end a conversation with like a thumbs up in real life.
Right. Oh, yeah, I don't
and
like it.
And by the way, I'm fine with the
like...
emoji. I just don't like when you push that button and then you pick a thing.
That's so weird. I kind of do.
Oh my God.
Especially if I'm in a group text. If I'm in a group text and somebody said something funny, but now 40 people have said something, I have to go back and I don't want to be like,
Why are you in group texts?
Because I work in group projects for school all the time. I have doing like projects in the community that involve multiple people. Mostly
if I were
work
in that
and school
many
related.
group text, I would end up in your stroke clinic because I would have a problem, like a medical emergency.
That's funny.
That would require attention.
Yeah.
Do not put me on a group text.
Well, yeah, you're not the kind I would even invite into this.
I even have one going with my sister and brother, and I have it muted so that like I'll see what they say, but I don't want to be notified.
Yeah, I picked my phone up once like the other day because there's probably like 10 of us, everybody who did this stroke boot camp. We were all in one together, and I picked up and there were like 28 messages, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta, it makes me.
That is so. And then I don't have this, but a lot of people in work environments use Slack.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it's HIPAA compliant, so it's actually real good.
Well, that's nice, but it makes you so you're working all the time.
That is absolutely true, and that's how I feel on these. I'm never not working.
Yeah, well, I am not okay with that.
Yeah, I agree, and that's not. But right now, unfortunately, I kind of have to.
Yeah, you do what you got to do.
And I got to let them know that I need them to open the side door because my key card doesn't work here, and I got to send that text message to 10 of them because who knows who will be with their clients and who will be free in the lobby, and I might just be sitting out by that door forever if I don't.
Okay, I get that, but like...
And how are we supposed to coordinate our group costumes? Which we definitely did.
I just feel like I don't want people to think... Basically, my policy is if I am on call... If that's what I am, you must pay me what you would pay a doctor.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
If I'm not being paid like that, I am not available to you.
That's good.
Except business
that is
hours.
Healthy boundaries.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
And what are the rest of these stupid terms?
Oh, let's see. One of some of the other ones.
We're so old.
Goat?
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't either.
Especially because the people that I know that use the term are referring to themselves, and they can go fuck
They can
themselves.
definitely. How about goals?
No, I'm not into it.
Me neither. Not anymore. Sorry, not sorry.
Wait, ever since you saw this?
No, like it just after
you
time. I'm like, I don't like that.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no.
I still use that. Fat. Oh my god.
P-H-A-T?
Yes, nobody better use that. We're done with that. Lit. No. All the feels. I say that all the time.
I read, remember how we talked about how there was drag queen lingo?
Yeah.
And how people were like, that's cultural appropriation. Yeah. Some people said that was from, I guess, that community. Or maybe...
I think a lot of that slang.
A subculture of some kind. I forget if it was drag queens or not, but it was like...
Well, everything's got to originate somewhere.
Well, that's true. And like, all the feels... I don't know. Did they say
things usually don't originate? Like cool slang terms are not originating at my country club,
right? At like Tupperware parties.
Come on, it's definitely going to be in the way cooler groups, which aren't white people. Sorry.
Yeah. What is a cool group though are the people that are getting FabFitFun. And I'm happy to report that the FabFitFun winter box is finally here. If you're having trouble like thinking of something to get for people for the holidays, this is such a great gift. Last year I got this for my sister, and then she got it all year round. So it wasn't just like a one-time thing. She got 4 boxes throughout the year, and every time she would text me and was so excited. And the winter box has the Ahava Hydration Cream Mask. I love that brand. I use their hand lotion every night at bedtime. They have an eye brightener in Champagne Shimmer, which is my favorite color for makeup, by the way. And then some have necklaces and socks and really cozy stuff. It's all full-size fashion, beauty, home, fitness, wellness products for just $49.99 a box. And there's no samples or anything, and the retail value is around $300, which is amazing value. And whoever you're buying this for is going to be like super excited, even if it's you. Sign up for FabFitFun today. FabFitFun boxes make amazing gifts for the holidays. Use our code BRAINCANDY and you get $10 off your first box. Go to fabfitfun.com to sign up and start getting the box for a life well lived. Use promo code BRAINCANDY to get $10 off your first box. That's over $200 for $39.99. Go to fabfitfun.com and use our code BRAINCANDY. Get $10 off your first FabFitFun box. Make somebody's holiday really special. Super cool.
So you know what got me started on the whole words that old people say? Elon Musk's tweet that he put out asking for the dankest memes.
He didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He is hot garbage.
Hot garbage, and he's friggin' 47 years old and so people were sending him memes of like him doing really young kid thing, like photoshopped over. There's some movie that has oh my gosh, some old guy who's real funny, like pretending to be a high school kid, like one of those, like can't hardly wait kind of things.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yo kids, where can I score some doobies or whatever, something that you would say.
right, but like knowing
it's like Elon
a joke.
Musk's face. Yeah.
Wow, that guy cannot get it right. No. I swear to you.
I mean, come on, Dankus memes. What
is Dankus? Like coolest?
Yeah, like
and like, what's he gonna do with them?
And dank is like not dank is man. That's annoying. I'm annoyed.
When is that from? That
I feel like it's a drug term, like dank weed.
Oh my!
Like I think it's.
What does it mean? Good weed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like strong.
Strong
some
weed.
Dank weed.
Oh my god!
But I don't know where dank came from.
Have you ever said it?
Absolutely not. Because honestly, I don't want that kind of stuff. I am not in need of.
Wonder what the opposite of dank is. Oh. Like there has to be an urban equivalent.
Like what you call like real. I know what they call it. What do they call it? They call it. Oh my gosh, like shake, but that's not something different.
Shake?
What do they call it? It's like for something I don't know. For like crappy weed. Like I don't know the name.
Crappy weed.
Yeah.
Has a name.
What do you call it? I don't know. Tweet at me.
They'll let you know. Mm-hmm. They'll make some dank memes.
Oh,
with
and you know what? I was listening to our episode. And I know that movie on, or those films or whatever you call them on YouTube that you were trying to think of the name of that have like the conspiracy things.
Yes.
Zeitgeist.
Yes.
And you were like, oh, it starts with a Q. And then I was listening to it. I was like, oh, she was close. It's a weird letter, but it's a Z. Yeah. And then it came to me. And there you go.
Yes.
And I was like the one who screams at the radio, like to my own show. I was like, it's Zeitgeist. It's Zeitgeist.
Have you ever watched
Yes.
it? Okay. Because your family gets into that crap. And, like, do you buy into it?
Certain things. Like, I think there were some interesting concepts about religion in there and, like, sun and how the sun in how we speak about how the Egyptian religion lines up with the a lot of, like, Christian beliefs and how, like, the sun...
Yeah, but why is that a big deal if that were true? Like, what's the conspiracy?
I think they're just trying to break down, like, this whole, like, Western, like, in God, everything's based on, like, this one theological, like, I don't know.
Yeah, so they're saying, like, you don't have a monopoly on
Yeah, and
truth.
also you weren't the first one to think about this idea. Like, this is not an original idea. Mm-hmm. Like, this is exactly the same thing that they were saying to explain natural phenomenons, like why we celebrate Christmas at that time of the year where the sun like disappears in certain time zones like for 3 days and then comes back again because it's like that time where it's in the orbit of the Earth, whatever it is. Yeah. But it like is explained through friggin' science and it matches up with the biblical stories. So I like that stuff because I believe that anyway. That's what I've been saying. It's the same thing in different languages.
Yeah. I just don't like the ones where it's like...
Yeah. They're lizard people or whatever.
Like, it's just not...
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. But that's what they say is if you buy into one, you buy into all of them, like that conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah, but do you ever still talk to people who use the line like, jet fuel can't melt steel beams? You know that line? It's now like a joke. It's a punchline. Because people that are 9/11 conspiracy theorists always say that. Like, that the fuel... The fire that was started couldn't melt those beams. That's the conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. And that there were actually explosives in the building and things like this.
Yeah, but the plane definitely went into that building. So
sure did.
People died. So.
I bet you there's people that think there wasn't.
God, it's crazy. Them and the Holocaust people can... I got some... What is it? Like front row real estate or oceanside real estate in Nevada to sell?
Right. It gets exhausting, though, so then I have to put it out of my mind. Yeah. Because... Every day there's like a new thing that somebody in politics is saying is like not true. Yeah. And I guess was it Stephen Colbert or somebody that's coined the term post-truth? And then that became like the word of the year or whatever. Yeah. But that stuff exhausts me. But yes, Zeitgeist. Thank you, Sarah. Changing the subject. Yeah. Let me see what I want to talk to you about. How about how Oh, there was a cool article in the New York Times. This is not that big of a deal, but I thought our listeners would appreciate it. It was in praise of mediocrity, and the essence of the article was about how so many Americans don't have hobbies anymore. And there's this sense of like, nobody wants to do anything just okay.
I'm really pushing this to accept the things that you
good enough is good enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have way too much pressure.
Do you feel like you have hobbies?
Yeah, a bunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
ton.
do I. I feel like that.
Gardening, even just like
crafting,
anything around my house.
A lot of people apparently, if you ask them in the U.S., can't think of any besides like, watching TV or something.
Yeah, that's not a hobby.
Yeah. That's a pastime.
Yes.
But like, it's not active. Mm-hmm. And so, would you say reading is though? Because I think reading is.
I think it is too.
Okay.
I think it's an enjoying activity that that has more positive, does more positive things than negative things too.
And they were saying like, let's say it's cooking. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be great at it for it to be a hobby. I would say
you're great at anything you have a hobby at.
Right. And that's like I play banjo. I'm not good at it, but it's a hobby. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, most people claim they don't have time for crap, but that's all baloney.
It is. I'm like, okay, well, let's think about where we can find time. You can find time for anything if you make time for things. I was saying that a lot about why I couldn't meditate. And then I made that a priority, and all it took me was 10 minutes of not, going on my phone or watching a TV show or 10 minutes. That's nothing.
Well, that's why the Nike slogan is genius. Because just do it.
Just do it.
It really does come down to that for everything.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you can make excuses if you want, and that's fine. We all do it. Or you could just do it.
Right. You got to look at what purpose does it. It's like, there's always a purpose to why you're not changing.
Right. It could be fear.
Yeah.
And in this article, it was saying some people really fear being mediocre.
Yes, they do. Because it's not accepted.
Or failing.
It's not accepted in our culture.
Why, though?
We are in an individualistic culture that has a very hard time connecting to... it's like we've got to be better than the person next to us. And so everybody thinks they're better than the person next to them because what it would mean... If they weren't, it would mean like, I don't know, everything kind of starts crumbling down. Like it's put in our heads from the day we're born that like you need to achieve, you need to be the best, you need to win the trophy, you need to do all this. And the people who are the supportive players are not recognized they don't get I don't know. They're not put on the pedestal in the same way, even though they're very important, And I think it creates a lot of feelings of depression and anxiety and all this bad stuff. And
I had to change an approach with my kid because he got a chart at the end of each day, and there were 9 opportunities for him to do good or poorly. And in order for him to go to the class carnival, he had to get all 9 positive. And he did it, but he had scratched up his whole arm. He had internalized it. And because
he was worried,
he was so anxious and wanted so badly to get all 9, and knew that if he got 8, it wouldn't be good enough.
Oh no! Poor thing. This is deep. Yeah. What did you do?
Well, I didn't know that. He brought it home, and I thought it was a celebration and awesome, you did it. I knew you could do it. It was positive. But then later, I found out how he had accomplished that was not healthy.
How did you find that out? What was
through Teresa?
Yeah.
When she picked him up from school, he was upset. And she was like, "What's the matter?" And he goes, "I got 9 happy faces." And she's like, "But that's good." And he goes, "Yeah, but and he was like scratching his arm, and she looked at it, it was all raw.
Oh,
and
poor baby.
It was too much. So then we had to change it and be like, just do your best. And, just because it really does come down to like doing your best. But he wasn't previously doing his best. So that's why it became like, you got to get 9.
Yeah.
But now I know. It's not like a perfect science.
Right. And I think it's good with that to kind of, that's where setting realistic goals is important. And also maybe letting the child set their own goals that they feel like, maybe saying like, well, how many stars do you think would be.
But he kept talking about it. He kept saying, what if I get 8? What if I get 7?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't like your attitude. Like, I don't like how you're already negotiating with me. So
that's why if you let him set the bar first, like saying, I'm just throwing out ideas. What the fuck do I know? I don't have a kid. But say, like, what do you think would be the number of stars that you think would get whatever?
Right.
Well, I think it would be 5. I bet he would. And then if he got those 5, do you think he can get 6 next week?
Right. We've adjusted the rubric, so we're okay now. But that was the learning process.
And wow, there's always like those kind of unintended consequences when you feel like you're doing the right thing. And in every other universe, that is absolutely the right thing. And like any teacher would go, yes, do that. It's so great. And then we never know how these things get internalized by the kid.
Right.
It's so wonderful that you have a nanny and an environment in your home where there was somebody who recognized awareness, talking about the feeling. That's so wonderful, Suze.
I know. I'm just glad it got nipped in the bud because that was like, oh, great. Now I got 9 stars, but now it's a problem.
Oh, poor thing.
Another problem I have is problem skin.
Not a problem anymore.
Not a problem anymore because I use BioClarity, which if you've listened to this show at all, you already know this, but it's worth repeating. A lot of people have troublesome skin, but everybody needs to wash their face.
Yep.
So now you can get either the Essentials Routine, which is a 3-step program for normal skin, or what I use, the Clear Skin Routine, which cleans you up, makes you have smooth skin, and minimizes all those trouble areas. And you can get the clarifying mask or the hydrating mask, which is the glow getter. It's delivered straight to you and it's easy to use. It's a 3-step skincare routine and it works for me and it's affordable, unlike a lot of those other 3-step routines that I've tried over the years that were more abrasive and less effective. Get started on healthier habits with your skincare. Just go to BioClarity.com and our listeners get the first month for 50% off. Any routine plus shipping is free. And it comes with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. But you need to use our code BRAINCANDY. That's BioClarity.com and enter code BRAINCANDY. And, hopefully Lincoln won't keep picking his skin. It clearly runs in the family that like picking is our...
that's a thing.
Yeah, because I used to...
Oh, that makes sense.
If I have a blemish, it's getting picked.
Yeah.
Problem.
I picked up a lot of the habits that my aunt did and my mom did.
It's weird. Do you think that that's learned through watching?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I do. Certain ones. I think the skin picking kind of fits into the category of OCD in some ways. Mm-hmm. So, and it depends. There are a lot of, little differences, like what kind it is, things like that, whether you're aware of it or not aware, things like that. But I think overall it might just be something learned from watching.
Right.
Because I would watch my mom, my aunt, as they drive, when they were driving, and that's when I would see them
picking.
Yeah, it was my mom scratched the side of her ear in a certain way, and I totally do it in the same way. And my mom saw me do it in the car, and she goes, "Oh, do you have psoriasis too?" And I was like, "No, that's so weird. You were doing it because there was actually something there. I just picked up rubbing that spot because I saw you do it." Oh. Isn't that weird?
Yes, it is. Because I thought maybe it was nature, like you were born with a tendency to pick.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe it's a combo.
Yeah, I think it is a combo. But now I do have psoriasis, so she was kind of... But that's only because of stress from grad school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed my hair is falling out. Fuck. We're falling apart. We're such losers. I am. I know. God. What are we going to do?
Well, I'm just trying to be more mindful and do things to reduce my stress and that kind of stuff. And wouldn't it be great when I graduate? I need to get out of there. It's so stressful. Everybody was like, you have no idea how bad it's going to be. And I'm like, I'm fine.
It's like an escape room.
And then I was like, this is so hard. Why am I breaking out in patches? Why do I just burst into tears as soon as it's so stressful, grad school.
Right. Life is
so stressful.
Yeah.
And then I think about the women who do it with children, and I'm like, you guys are saints. How are you even holding it together?
Yeah, don't remind me. Yeah, that was a real fun time.
Right. Oh, my God. I don't know how you do it. Bow down to you,
What
please.
about this? How about how there's this thing, and I know it's November now, but there's this thing that some people practice called Locktober, where they basically buy this gadget, they lock up their penis.
Stop it. Okay, what is with men doing weird-ass shit in October? That time, Movember. They're growing out their freaking mustache.
I hate that.
And then I
know it's
this
for a good cause.
Right,
I know.
But I just hate the mustache. And then I also heard of like Sober October.
Yeah.
But that seems, I think it's because there was a male celebrity or somebody who like kind of pushed this, which I'm
Joe
all
Rogan
for.
does it.
I am all for a month of sobriety and clean living. I think it's fabulous, but it definitely feels like it's more aimed at men.
Totally. It's like a competition.
Yeah.
They have to make it like that.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Joe Rogan does it. Bert Kreischer does it. Tom Segura. They all do.
And same with my husband did Fit for 40. And it
what
was
the fuck is that?
Like, I'm going to get in the best shape I've ever been in before I turn 40 years old.
Okay. How'd that go?
Amazing. And he really is. And it's not like he's like made lifestyle changes that was like, hey, I'm starting this next chapter of my life now. I need to like be eating not like a frat boy, and I need to be working out on a more consistent basis and whatever. He's like in the best shape of his whole life. He's like more fit than he was at our wedding.
Okay. So it's about like it was like a goal.
Yeah. But it's all his male friends who have this phrase that they use. Oh, Fit for 40.
Because they're all the same age.
Yeah. I've never heard any of the women use that. Never, not once. Because we're like, dude, we're trying to be fit all the time.
Absolutely.
I think that is. It's like the expectation.
Our nightmare.
Right. That we're just supposed to be like that. And they have to like make it a competition. You're so right.
Well, maybe you can tell him about October. Yeah. He missed his chance on that, but hey.
I do not want him to lock up his penis, please.
It's weird though. I read this article and I was like, still unclear what it was, because the gadget that they're using, it like, oh man, it looks like a metal gauge, and so you can pee out of it and everything. Stays on.
It's like what do you call it? It's like chastity belt kind of situation.
Yeah.
But I see that I can understand this, and here's why. I see it's really just in the same way, like having a month of sobriety and from abstaining from drinking. Say there maybe you're drinking a little heavier than you'd like to be. And you're like, you know what? I need like a clean month. Yeah. So I look at men who may be addicted to porn, or maybe, feeling like they need to do like an all or nothing, like reset button to kind of like reset the system.
Here's why
I'm fine with it.
That's not what it is though, because it's in this article, at least, it said that they sit there all month trying to come up with ways to ejaculate. Like they'll do anything. They'll like put stuff up their butt.
What? So what's
that's
the
what
point?
I'm saying. I do not
that
get it.
That defeats the purpose. Like it feels like you're trying to live a more like you're doing something so that you. Okay, now I don't like it. What the hell?
If that were the intention, where it's like this is a way to put a check on my
that's what I thought it was.
Overuse or whatever.
That's what I thought it was.
But in the article, at least, it was like these guys will like try to like get lotion in the device and try to like touch through.
Well, these are clearly people who have sex addictions,
I guess. And then they'll sometimes they will have an orgasm, but it won't be satisfying because it's like obviously weird and just mechanical.
This is really awful. I don't like any of this. Now I changed my mind. This is different purpose. This is people. This follows. I think this is more fetishy.
Yeah, they called it chastity play.
It is.
So it's kink.
Yeah,
and it's like the kinky version of Lent. That's what it said.
Yeah, and it almost sounds like you're selling something as like I'm abstaining, but really hiding your own. It's like the abstaining from it that's getting you off.
Yeah,
that's messy.
Yeah, you're right, because they were saying it's like the economy of restriction. Okay, but like, I just don't. Okay,
I don't like
we're saying thumbs down on that one.
Yeah,
hold on.
This just in. I'm not.
October sucks.
In October, not really what you're saying as far.
It's so funny.
This just in. Don't lock up your dicks.
I did not anticipate your reaction.
I know. I couldn't even.
Because usually you get really excited about stuff like that.
I couldn't even come up with a single thing that like
a headline. Pun. Wow.
It's funny. Man. Yeah. I kind of, okay.
What?
The end of this story, you maybe will see the connection, but not really. It's far a stretch. But you want to know what the Q in QTip stands for?
Ooh. Yeah, hold on. Can I guess? Is it guessable?
Totally. And then I did a deep dive into the history of the Q-tip. So
this is so exciting. Mm-hmm. Q-tip. Is it a brand?
The Q-tip is a brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the word
they would be cotton swabs.
Is derivative of
but Q
something.
Stands for something. They came out
Quaint.
No. Quality.
Oh, yeah. I remember this now.
Yeah. And then,
so dumb.
So I went on what does this mean? Like, where did it come from?
I love it.
So this man named Leo Gerstein Zhang in 1923.
Love the Jews.
Right? Was watching his wife use a toothpick wrapped with a cotton ball.
That is not safe.
I know it because yours truly punctured her eardrum at age 13 while I was on vacation in Italy doing the exact same thing.
I remember this. That's awful. The opposite of quality.
Awful.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why they came out with quality.
Exactly.
The Q-tip and toothpick are not quality.
And he was like, I got it.
But this is the most hilarious part, which is why I was trying to tie it into the penis story, but it's a loose correlation.
Okay.
The original name for Q-tips? Baby gaze.
No.
Yes.
Why?
I have
That's where your deep dive ended?
Didn't explain it. It was like right before I got in the car to come here, and I was just like scrolling through something. It said, would you like to know where? It was on MSN, and it was like the Q and Q-tip.
Gaze?
Baby gaze, Gays, was...
Okay, so there must have been big gays.
Okay, I didn't even think about that.
And maybe they were like big cotton sticks that the gays shoved up their butt.
No, Susie. I don't think gays was even a term for homosexuals at that time.
All right,
gays
Sarah,
was just
don't scold me about it.
Oh, please. This is my
brainstorming. You're supposed to yes and me.
Right. But I'm so no on this one. Okay, let me look at that. The article ends there. It said, but the product wouldn't pick up its now famous name until 1926. For the first 3 years, the cotton swabs were called Baby Gaze, which the company would be modified to become Q-Tip's Baby Gaze. Eventually, they dropped the Baby Gaze altogether and were just left with Q-Tip. Still, that's the end of the article.
Wow.
The source is from QTips.com. Okay, so now this brand comes out.
Oh, that is cuckoo crazy.
I should have done more of a... They still don't explain it. I'm annoyed.
You know what? We'll figure it out, though.
We will.
And in the meantime, I would like to encourage you to get some baby sheets. Not baby sheets.
Full-size
I
sheets.
don't have a segue, damn it.
Right.
Yeah, get some sheets for your bed from Brooklinen. Everybody that I meet that's a brainiac that has gotten them really likes them because they're luxury sheets and you can mix and match. You don't have to do that whole set thing. You can do different patterns so it looks super cute in your bedroom. But they were winner of the best online bedding category of Good Housekeeping. So this isn't like some fly-by-night operation. Although you do use your sheets at night. But they took out the middleman, so you can get affordable luxury sheets. And I love mine. That's what we use on our beds. And they also go on Lincoln's bed as well, and we get different patterns for him. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. And it's time for your upgrade. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just to our listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code BRAIN at brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so confident in their product that all their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. Whoa. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code BRAIN at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code BRAIN. Brooklinen, these are the best sheets ever. I also heard their pillows are great. I want to try them.
Oh, nice.
I don't have them. I'm in the market, though. I want to introduce a guest.
Oh, yeah.
Super excited about this. Kelsey Miller wrote a book called I'll Be There For You, The One About Friends.
Oh my gosh, so great.
It is a comprehensive, no lie, history of the show Friends. It's absolutely fascinating. You will learn so much about how television is made.
Oh, cool.
How hard it is to go from idea to on the air. Then how hard it is to go from on the air to being a hit, and then how hard it would be to go from being a hit to being a cultural phenomenon.
Which it is.
And then what that does to people that are on it who
Yeah,
have
cool.
come from nowhere.
Wow.
And how their lives are affected and changed in good and bad ways. It is such a great book, but she is great because she's very humble and she did Friends justice. I love the show Friends, as many basic bitches do. And just people all over the world really love and connected to the idea that there is a period of time in your life when your friends are your family.
Yeah. Oh, everybody loves that.
I was talking to my friends in Pittsburgh about that, how we had, when we were in our 20s and early 30s, it was like you didn't have kids,
Right.
and you went out 3, 4, 5 times a week and just hung out with your makeshift family.
Friends.
And that's what the book is about. And you will love her. Kelsey Miller, read the book. I'll be there for you. And let's welcome her to this show. Welcome, Kelsey.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you very much.
I mean, I was harassing you about this book on Twitter already, but I cannot even tell you how much I loved it. Are you getting like nothing but rave reviews?
Oh, man. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback.
Yes.
I'm definitely a little bit nervous because, this is a show that means a lot to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
All right. Pressure is on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
definitely.
that's what made me so impressed, because I love Friends, as so many people do, as you say, and you did it justice, and you provided so much information, and you historicized them, and I just felt like this was a really tall order, and you delivered.
Gosh, thank you so much. That's a really huge relief to hear. I'm really glad to hear that.
Okay, so let's say people are reading the book, and what could possibly be a criticism? Would somebody say that they were like, you didn't do this right? What is that?
I think I think there are definitely some diehard fans out there. I know there are, who don't want to hear any criticisms about the show.
Right.
And so I think that might be the only complaint, and
Yeah.
my take on that is like, I don't understand the people who think that you can't love something and also critique its flaws at the same time,
Yeah, because as time marches on, things can be viewed through different lenses. And I thought you did such a great job of celebrating what was amazing about the show and its actors and writers, but also saying like, you know what, this doesn't translate as well today, and here's why. And I mean, what more could you do, really?
Yeah, no, thanks for that. I mean, it's just a fundamental fact. It's a show from another era. And in many ways, it's, among other things, it's a historical marker of, our social and cultural and political attitudes back then.
You start the book off with an experience I think a lot of us have now with streaming and, of course, with reruns, where you found yourself drawn to rewatching episodes. What do you think that was about for you?
Wow. I think that is a question for a therapist in many ways.
No, come on.
No, I think in some ways it's, it's that natural pull that so many of us have to something familiar.
Yeah.
So in many ways, I think it's nostalgia. But as I wrote in the book, in the introduction, it is, I was really drawn to it during this particular time in my life when things were changing for me, when my friends were getting married, people were starting to have kids. I was in a serious relationship living with my boyfriend, who then became my fiance, who then became my husband. Mm-hmm. And this is a show which, as the creators themselves describe it, is about the time in your life when your friends are your family. And I was really leaving that period of my life right during the time when I was sort of drawn back towards Friends. I would watch it every single day at the gym, and I thought at first it was something that I was just sort of casually watching, kind of half-heartedly while I was doing my cardio. But as it turned out, it was filling a pretty big emotional need for me.
Yeah, it's soothing, right? And maybe for some people, they're not watching Friends. Maybe they're watching something else. But I think everyone has something that they watch or consume in a way that makes them feel comforted. And that sounded like what it was like for you.
Yeah, it is. And I do think that it gave me a new sort of esteem for the concept of comfort food television. I don't think it's necessarily just sort of mindless. I think there is really something resonant about that.
Do you feel like now you could still do that with the show, or are you too close to the Monet?
I think right now, perhaps too close. That said, I was like, I can't remember where it was. I think it was in like a doctor's waiting room not that long ago after I finished the book, and it was on, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm actually watching this as if I hadn't just written a book about it. So I think there is something in my mind, and probably in most people's minds, that like when Friends is on, like especially in that rerun capacity, that part of my brain just switches on, and I can enjoy it. Yeah, but I don't think I'll be turning it on Netflix in the recent future.
Yeah, because you're immersed in it right now. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just weird to me that now you have written this comprehensive book, but then now you're a part of the history. Is that strange?
Wow, do you really think so?
Yeah, I do. Because this book is the book, I think.
My goodness. Well, until you said that, I had not really considered that. So I'll let you know as I think on that. I think that's pretty heavy. I'll think about it.
Okay. Yeah. Keep me posted.
Okay.
What I wondered was, you decide you're going to write a book about this show. It's a long running show. There's a lot of players, a lot of cast members, a lot of people behind the scenes. Did it feel overwhelming, or was there a specific challenge about the book that you didn't anticipate?
Oh, it was so overwhelming because, I had all sorts of thoughts. I mean, probably the same thoughts that many fans are having, which is, why does she get to be the one to write the Friends book? You know what I mean? Because as I said, this show means so much to so many people. And when you're writing, you got to think about your audience, but you also can't feel them looking over your shoulder the entire time, because I didn't want to write self-consciously and I didn't want to write defensively. I just wanted to write something that was like truthful and compelling. So I think I felt overwhelmed by that sense of like, not necessarily the massive audience that was going to read my book, but the massive audience that Friends had.
Did you contact the cast and ask for interviews?
I did. I reached out to them, by their representatives before anybody else, of course. And I was told the answer that I expected to get, which is that, they've had that one for all for one deal in place since the 90s, since they were on Friends. And they still abide by that when it comes to anything Friends related. So I was told, it's probably not going to happen unless by some miracle they all agree that they want to do it. And
what?
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I mean, it served them very well. It sounds really shocking too, but like, what do they need to talk to me for? They've already been talking about this for so long, and they've all got other things going on. So I didn't expect any of them to want to talk to little me for this book. I don't know. I'll be curious to find out, if any of them become aware of it now.
Yeah, because I didn't expect them to agree to an interview for the same reason that you just said, but I didn't think the answer would be, we're still one for all and all for one. That is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Well, and you document in the book these sort of, it became mythology along the way that they did this pay negotiation stuff as a group. And everyone was always so impressed by that, I guess, at least in the public. But you really did a great job saying, it wasn't as smooth sailing as maybe in retrospect it seemed. Because we take it for granted that there were all these seasons of the show. But you're like, it was always down to the wire whenever they were doing these negotiations. Was that surprising to you?
It was. I mean, from a logistical standpoint, if you read anything about the television industry, that it takes a series of miracles essentially just for a show to get from a pitch to a script to a pilot to an actual series. So, from that perspective, I think it's quite surprising. I think, but we all do have that sense that Friends was this thing that was never going to go away and has never gone away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I
think
it seems weird. No, it just seems weird that there was ever a moment when even like a suit could be like, well, we just won't bring you back. Like, now that seems absurd. Of course you're going to bring it back.
I know. And really, when you think about the fact that there were 6 people involved and they did have that all for one for all mentality, and that, you know, if at any point a majority of them could have voted, okay, we don't want to come back for another season, then that would have been the end, because they did. They voted together, and then once they'd taken sort of an internal vote and figured out what they wanted to do, then they went to the negotiating table. So they really could have walked away with the show at any time.
Do you think that any of them wish they had never done the show to begin with?
You know, having not spoken to them personally, but having researched them quite heavily, I think no. I think that all of them are pretty open about the fact that, like, you know, and I think the producers and the writers as well, that like this was really an exceptional experience. And even in moments when I think perhaps they would have maybe liked to have walked away, they didn't, because they maybe realized that this was a once in a lifetime kind of job, that you don't get the kind of job where you really are working with such, you know, good quality folks and with people that you get along well with and that you click well with, and that you've formed such an incredibly functional professional relationship and friendship, really. I think that is what kept them around for so long.
Well, I love that you called the book I'll Be There For You, because it does feel like Friends is there for us now. And I just wonder though, at what cost it was personally to the actors, because it's a high price to pay for that level of iconic fame.
Yes, that's for sure. And you know, when you asked your question before, that's the first thing that came to my mind is I don't think any of them would probably regret doing the show. I mean, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but I do think a lot of them perhaps, maybe some of them perhaps did not acclimate very well to being famous.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think that all of them really are very good at being celebrities. You know what I mean? I mean, you can tell, it's not like a big secret or anything, but you see, you know, David Schwimmer kind of vanished for a really long time from television and just went back to his, you know, Chicago theater world and like did a lot of behind the camera work and very, very much, I think, did not want to be in the public eye. And he didn't come back for a really long time, you know?
Yeah.
And same with, you know, Matt LeBlanc. He went quite off the grid for a while. And then when he came back, it was in this very fascinating, oddball, pitch black comedy role where he was really skewering himself. And I'm talking about episodes, the show episodes.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, of course, you don't become that famous without paying certain costs.
It felt like Lisa Kudrow avoided some of that because she was already established with her husband and sort of a family life at the time, which I think spared her some of the nonsense. But I still freaking worry about Matthew Perry. Like, I feel like I want to hug that guy. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, I mean, I talked in the book a lot about star images and how, as I interviewed Anne Helen Peterson about that pretty in depth, all the cast's different star images that got forged over the decade they were on television. And it's interesting because, you know, I have that same feeling too whenever I see his name in the press. I think, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, you know, who knows what's actually going on in his personal life, but like to us, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, the point is we don't know, but we do have a very strong, you know, there's a huge narrative around him. There's a public perception around him that no matter what is actually going on with him, it will never trump that. And, you know, same with Jennifer Aniston. It's very tied up in that, in like the idea of Rachel Green, of this girl next door attitude, even though she hasn't been in that role for so long.
Right. It's like she can't escape it. Did you, during your time researching and writing the book, talk to a lot of people that maybe hate the show and think it's stupid?
I definitely did.
What do they say?
Yeah. Well, I think it's really funny because whenever I hear from somebody that they never watched it or didn't really like it, I always assume it's because they think it's cheesy, or because they think it's, I actually always assume it's because they think it's like offensive, you know, all those hot take topics that we love to talk about when it comes to Friends. And a lot of people just say like, no, I just didn't really, it wasn't really my thing. I was much more of a, you know, I was a Seinfeld person, or I liked Will and Grace, or I don't know, it's just like, I missed the boat or something like that. I think people also have like that strong anger towards it, sometimes just simply because it is so ubiquitous. It is so omnipresent everywhere, forever in the background of our lives, you know?
Yeah. I always did feel like there was a dichotomy, like there was the Friends people and the Seinfeld people, but I always thought there was more of a gendered relationship there, that dudes tended towards Seinfeld and the ladies liked Friends more, but I'm sure it's not that simple.
Yeah, no, I think I think there's something to that though, for sure.
You talk a lot in the book so well about the problems with regard to like race and LGBT, and even just the maleness of the writer's room. And it kind of like bumps me out that maybe they're not more like that. They don't acknowledge it as much as they could now, being like, yeah, we should have had more chicks doing it, or more people of color. Do you think that's intentional, or they're just like, it's water under the bridge?
Well, you know, I think for a lot of them it is. You mean talking about like the producers and the creators and those folks? I think for a lot of them it is probably just in the past, and you know, that the television industry back then, it's true, was just a very, very, I mean, the stories I've heard, very alienating place for women and people of color, and, you know, really any marginalized populations. So I think for some of them, it just didn't seem like a fight that they were in a position to fight. That said, it was the most popular and incredibly influential, powerful show. So at a certain point, you know, if anybody could have fought it, I think it would have been them. And I think the other reason, perhaps, you know, maybe they don't talk about it, or maybe they just aren't asked about it, is because, you know, as I wrote about in the book, there was a pretty infamous lawsuit around racial and sexual harassment. And that had a really, really big impact, not just in the television industry, but in workplaces all over the country. So, and that was, you know, that was a situation I don't think anybody wants to revisit, but I'm very glad I had the opportunity to revisit it and bring it up in the book, because I think it's an incredibly important story that I'm shocked that it isn't better known.
Yes, I felt that way when I was reading it, and I thought, I'm so grateful that you're telling this story, and that hopefully people can learn from it and do better, man.
Yeah, man, I really hope so too.
Okay, now, when you are moving forward in your life, how do you feel like your consumption of media did or did not change after writing this book?
I think I probably have a deeper understanding of that thing I was talking about earlier, which is just how rare it is for a show to actually get on the air. Right. And so when I'm watching a show now, I am very aware that there's like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of other shows that I'm not seeing. So I have a new sort of respect, I think, for the process, or a deeper respect, I think, for the process there.
That is such a good point, because it does feel like miraculous, especially when you have something that's as big of a global hit as Friends. It does feel like a miracle. But then on the other hand, I'll see shows on the air and I'm like, how the heck did that make it through the process, you know?
I know. I think I often think about meetings when I think about all the meetings somebody would have to go to, and all the meetings where everybody would have had to say yes, 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 and here's this money. And it is really shocking, and it shows you sort of we're all in our own bubbles, right? So somewhere out there, people who are creating in their own little bubble and thinking that theirs is the best idea ever. And only when it comes out in the world, you realize, oh man, really shouldn't have put all our eggs in that basket.
Well, even I bet just writing a book, period, you see how many people have to say yes to you, your idea, the words you put on the page, all the things that go into just creating a book, and then to have a series of television episodes that last over a decade is even more insane.
It is completely insane. Yeah.
We ask everybody one question at the end of the interview, and that is, what do you keep in the trunk of your car if you have a car? Are you in New York?
I'm in New York, and I do not have a car.
Yeah, what do you keep in your backpack or a briefcase or whatever, or purse?
Oh, okay. I keep like about 500 to 700 pens at any given time for no reason. I always keep lip balm and hand cream.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I always keep like an apple, like somewhere knocking around the bottom of my purse. Yeah.
I want to know if you have like a particular kind of pen that you love.
Oh my goodness. I'm like looking at my pens right now, like, wow, I wasn't prepared for this question.
Do you have an affection for writing utensils?
I like those little tiny felt tip pens.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're called. Yeah, I think I like those. I mean, mostly the most important thing to me is like a pen that works consistently.
Girl, I couldn't agree more. I'm an enthusiast for pens, and my co-host always steals mine, and I'm starting to catch on, and I'm going to put the bad ones in a thing by her spot.
You should. You got to protect them. Yeah.
I do. I'm not falling for this anymore. Okay. Now I want to know what, if you just are totally immersed in this and you got to like promote your book and that's all you can think of, or if you're like plotting your next move.
You know, I am plotting actually a little bit. Nothing I can super talk about yet, but I will say that I think the next thing I want to do is also somewhat historically based and something that is timely. I think reflects the sort of era we're going through. I actually have no idea if I am even allowed to talk about it because nothing is confirmed. But like, stay tuned, as they say.
Well, whatever you write, I'm going to read because you're so gifted and you have such a way of making really complicated and like detailed stories palatable and easy to read. And it was just really fun seeing your work. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you very much.
And I'm sure everybody is going to just love your book so much. So I can't wait to hear what our listeners think. So thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
You're off the hook, and I'll just let you know whenever I post it. And I really do think you're a dynamo.
Oh, wow. Really? Thank you so much. This was a really fun interview.
Good.
And I'm really
excited
to hear the episode.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. I hope you have like 1 million billion sales, and I'll be watching it to see.
Oh, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I mean, your support's been really helpful, so thank you.
Thanks, Kelsey. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.